The Soviet Union was a global superpower for decades, until it suddenly vanished in less than a year. What brought down this colossal empire? The Soviet Union, once a dominant force shaping global politics and military strength, ceased to exist by the end of 1991. Its collapse was not a sudden event, but a complex process marked by political stagnation, economic failure, and rising internal pressures. To understand the fall, start with the Cold War context. After World War II, the Soviet Union emerged as one of the two superpowers, locked in a tense rivalry with the United States. This contest fueled military buildups, space races, and competing ideologies. However, despite its show of strength, economic weaknesses began to surface beneath the surface. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Soviet economy was struggling. Centralized planning had led to inefficiency. The arms race with the West drained resources, and technological innovation lagged behind. Agricultural production faltered, causing shortages and dissatisfaction among citizens. Politically, the Soviet system was rigid. Leadership passed between aging generals and technocrats, with little room for reform. The public's frustration grew, yet any hint of dissent was suppressed. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev rose to power and introduced new initiatives, hoping to reform the system. His policies of glasnost and perestroika, openness and restructuring, aimed to revive the economy and political climate. Glasnost allowed more freedom of speech and reduced censorship, exposing decades of corruption and failures. Perestroika sought to introduce market-like reforms, but was met with mixed results, causing uncertainty and increased public unrest. These changes unintentionally unleashed nationalistic movements within the Soviet republics. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Ukraine, and others began demanding independence. The central government's grip weakened as regional leaders challenged Moscow's authority. Meanwhile, the failed August 1991 coup attempt by hardliners desperate to preserve the old regime further discredited the Communist Party and accelerated disintegration. By December 1991, the Soviet Union was dissolved. Its republics declared independence, and the Russian Federation emerged as the successor state. The Cold War era was over, but the impact of the Soviet collapse rippled worldwide. It altered geopolitical alliances, ended the bipolar world order, and opened new paths for economic and political change in Eastern Europe, and beyond. This fall was driven by a mix of systemic economic issues, political inflexibility, reform efforts gone awry, and growing nationalist sentiments. It is a powerful example of how even the mightiest empires can unravel under internal and external pressures. The Soviet Union's end reshaped global history, proving that no superpower is invulnerable.